Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. As you know, my name is Lewis. I'm here with the BoSTEM Initiative, and I'm so excited to welcome you, students and educators, and all of our out of school time folks who are tuning in to our virtual opportunities. As you know, the BoSTEM Initiative is an opportunity for you to listen in on some of our really interesting stories about STEM professionals and how they got to pursue careers in STEM. So today we have a special guest to talk about her career pathway into the STEM industries. And I don't want to say too much because our special guest is going to dive into all the colorful details of her story. But with me today is a special guest coming from a company called Exact Sciences. So if you're a student focusing on life sciences, environmental sciences, or even just the general medical sciences, definitely listen closely because you might have a lot to learn today. But without further ado, please join me in welcoming our special guest, Sainabou. Hi, Sainabou. Please.
Hi, Louise. Thanks for that very warm welcome. Hi, everyone. As Louise said, my name is Sainabou Aiyegbo, and I work for a company called Exact Sciences, which actually focuses on the fight against cancer. And one of the main products that we have is called Cologuard, which is an application or a product that is utilized to test for colon cancer, for instance. But just to kick off, again, I'm Sainabou. I'm originally from the Gambia. It's in West Africa. It's the smallest country in Africa. Nobody knows where it is, but very tropical, right on the Atlantic Ocean. I came to the US for college when I was about 17 years old. So not to age myself, but I spent most of my adult life here in the US for that matter, and I currently live in Maryland. Exact does have offices in the Boston area, in Cambridge actually as well too. A little bit more about myself. I coming here for college. I went to an HBCU. I went to Jackson State University. Go JSU Tigers for all the football fans out there. We're having a really great solid year as well too. And I actually had a double major when I was in college. I majored in computer science as well as in accounting. And I started out as a computer science major. And as you all may know, when you get to college, there are some electives that you do have to take. And Accounting 101 was one of those electives. And I took the class and I absolutely fell in love with that discipline. I turned out to be really good at it. So, and they had scholarships to offer. So I took that opportunity to double major because I didn't want to lose the tech computer science work that I'd already done. So that's how I got into both my majors at college. I will tell you that I feel very fortunate to say that I'm one of the few people that can say I am doing exactly what I went to college for, because the work that I do now is very much entwined with technology for our business partners or business applications. And that is really the focus of what I do now. I work on applications that accounting departments in corporations utilize, or even manufacturing departments utilize as well. So Exact Sciences might be a biotech. It is a life science industry, but I work in IT for that this company. I've always worked in IT groups in any of the industries or companies that I've worked for. And I specialize on a product called SAP, which is an enterprise resource planning, in short, ERP system that is used by companies to manage their technology around their accounting departments, around their manufacturing or logistics and production organizations. So science or computer science can come in many different ways as well too. One of these is that technology piece that perhaps does not get as much publicity. I call it the softer side of technology, where we're mostly working on applications, we're mostly working on softwares. So what a lot of these companies do is to run their business, which is SAP's motto, by the way. All businesses run SAP, run businesses better. So to run their business, to run their general and administration, to pay their vendors or get payments from their customers, to be able to determine what materials go into a product. All of these processes need to be managed or utilize technology for that matter. And SAP is the number one technology that is utilized by most businesses to manage their general and admin processes. And what my group does within Exact Science is that we manage that platform. So generally, we're calling it a platform. And the platform will come in a standard delivered package from SAP, the company itself. SAP is a company here in US, and they do have offices in Boston and across the US for that matter. They're headquartered in the Silicon Valley, along with all the major IT big heads, I suppose I'd say as well. So these products are purchased by Exact Sciences, for instance. And then my group is responsible for taking the standard delivered product and now making it applicable to Exact's business. So for instance, Exact is a life science company, and it is also considered a manufacturing company since we create a product at the end of the day. So then we will take the SAP system and we will then configure it or set it up to be applicable to what Exact does. So we will create the various businesses or organizations that are in Exact. We would create specifications that apply to the R&D department. For instance, R&D is not just everybody in a lab. They actually require materials. How do they procure those materials? How do they manage their inventory? As well is something that all of those processes and transactions are managed in this SAP application, for instance. Hopefully that gives a pretty good idea of what we do and how we get there.
Yeah, wow, that's really great. So lots of learning, definitely. And as we're starting to see, Sainabou, with your experience, you went to school focusing on a specific skill set or a specific career trajectory, and that's where you landed. I'm interested to hear your perspective around the environment in which you find yourself. So IT is as we know, stereotypically male-dominated industry, and you identify as a woman. So how could you share with us that experience? Was that a shock for you to witness? Did you know that going into it and kind of prepared yourself? What was that like for you?
Well, I did know that I was absolutely a minority as a female, as a Black person as well, going into this technology field. But I think you are never prepared to be the only one. Right out of college, I started working in this industry, started working on SAP applications or on business solution applications is really genre that we work in. And I'll tell you from day one, and literally right out of college, I graduated in December. I was working in January for Caterpillar at that time, was my first position. And right out of there, I was the youngest person on the team. I was the only female. I was the only Black person. So a friend of mine used to call me a token. And I think nothing prepares you for being that. However, nothing takes away what you know or the energy that you bring to any opportunity that you have. And I just saw it as an opportunity. Coming fresh out of college, it was a really great opportunity to be in this industry where it is very male dominated. And at that time, SAP, it was something that required a lot of experience. So most of the people that worked in that field were much more matured and had 20 years of experience or so. So there was a lot of learning that I had to do, but allowing myself that space to just understand that this is a time in my career or at that point that I just needed to learn and absorb and be part of that. And that was part of the process, I'd say helped a lot.
Definitely. Awesome. So when you're faced with some of those experiences, how do you find yourself to navigate them? Because I can only imagine some of our students who take on internships or have an opportunity to shadow might have similar experiences or in the back of their mind are like preparing because they're like, I don't know, it's just so intimidating. So could you share with us, like, how did you navigate those experiences?
Being confident, knowing that you are where you are because you've already worked very hard to get there and you deserve to be there, saying that you deserve to be here and that you've earned this place and you've earned this opportunity, it's very important to have in the back of your mind. Believe in that in yourself, I'd say, is really key. And having that confidence to say you don't understand something and to give yourself the opportunity to learn something is really key. So I'd say the best advice is to, one, feel validated that you've gotten that internship, you've gotten that position because you worked very hard for it and you are deserving of it. And then also put yourself in a position to really learn. Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn something and to be great at whatever it is that you put yourself in.
Beautifully, well said. So, Sainabou, I mean, I'm really interested. We have a lot of girls who are interested in coding, tech, computer science. What advice would you have for those students who are really aspiring to follow in your footsteps or want to see themselves in IT? What would be some helpful advice that you would like to share?
IT is a lot of fun. IT is not that stereotype of you go to work and it's not fun or it's not cute or anything like that. We have a lot of fun. It's also an opportunity to really meet a lot of people. I already have a great set of people that I work with. But I think breaking those stereotypes and making it your own, anything that you do, you have to make it to work for you. The thing that leads me most, and I would like every person, male or female, to understand is that you have to work with your passion. So I am very passionate in logic. I like figuring things out. I like fixing things and building things. So I may not be building a completely new platform, but for every organization that I've worked for, it's building that to tailoring that to what they do is really great, is really innovative, and it's fun to me to be able to see, oh, we didn't have anything here and now we've built all their processes. So leading with your passion, finding your fun and finding your happiness in anything that you do is really the way to go.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And beautifully well said. So students, I mean, I really hope that you're finding sense of direction, right? Or starting to reaffirm for yourself that you're on the right path, right? You're learning what you need to be learning to see yourself as a STEM professional. Sainabu, we're coming close to the end of our session here, and I just have one last question for you. As we know, a lot of students understand IT to be, you mentioned it earlier, this boring, stereotypical kind of nonsensical understanding. But what would you say makes your particular job, your career focus, your skill set unique? And how can our students kind of understand that for themselves to kind of pinpoint, like, I like IT, but I want to be this person doing these types of skills?
Right. One thing that makes the opportunities that I have unique is that it's very business oriented. Our customers are actually the business organizations within these companies. So, and we get to work on all various kinds of industries. I work for a life science industry right now, but I've worked for companies like Discovery, which is a media industry. I've worked for a company that produces sugar. So being able to extend yourself and know that there is no boundaries, with working on a business application side, I'd say is really a great opportunity. And then also sometimes I think a lot of the rep that IT gets is that you're in coding all the time and you don't get to talk to people. My role is what we call a customer facing role, which means that every day I am in meetings or I am talking to business professionals, to accountants, to scientists sometimes, to production people or inventory managers. So what I'm really doing is solving business processes as well. And that is really engaging, I'd say.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So students, I hope that you're starting to see that there's so much that you can take from a career in STEM. And thankfully, Sainabu has shared her experience to kind of give you an insight into the world of IT and how she sees herself kind of sharing the advice that she's learned throughout the years with you all. So Sainabou, I mean, I just want to say thank you so, so much for taking the time to join us and sharing your story. We welcome diverse perspectives all the time here at BoSTEM. And so I can hope that our students will see more familiar faces. We'll hopefully get to connect with you again in the future at another virtual opportunity, or just to kind of say hello offline. But I just want to say thank you again for sharing your journey with us and for giving your time today.
Great. Absolutely love being here. I wish everybody well. Look forward to seeing you in the STEM organizations as well and the career path.
Absolutely. Yes.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, students. Take care. If you have any questions, please reach out to your educators. They have my contact information. If you'd like to have a conversation or have any other additional questions, feel free to send them along to your educators and we can get you connected or have those questions answered as soon as we are able to. But as you know, we're here at the end of our session and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for joining us.
Take care. Thank you. Bye now.